Hi, I'm Rebecca Gilling from Planet Ark. Every year, Australia's 7 million households each produce around a tonne of waste. Add to that the contributions of the industry and business sectors, and you get a staggering 17 million tonnes of solid waste sent to landfills every year. Not only are we losing valuable natural resources, but we're also generating millions of tonnes of greenhouse gases as these materials break down. By recycling and reusing materials, we can recover these valuable resources to make new products, saving energy and water in the process. "90% of Australian households have access to a curbside recycling service provided by your local council. The types of materials that can be collected in your home recycling depends on the company your council uses to do the collection and processing. There are different types of collection systems too. Some councils use wheelie bins, others crates. Some councils accept paper and cardboard combined with glass, plastic and aluminium and steel containers in the one bin, commonly called commingled recycling. Other systems separate the paper and containers into two different bins. Many councils will also have a curbside collection for your garden or green waste, either through a separate bin system or in bundles. Some councils will also provide drop-off locations for recycling at local landfills and transfer stations. There are lots of items that can be recycled in your home, in the kitchen, the bathroom, and the laundry. But there are a few things to remember. Wash out containers at the end of doing the dishes. They don't have to be spotless. And don't forget to remove and discard the lids from your plastic bottles before you recycle them. This is partly to make sure they're empty. Any liquid left in the bottle can contaminate clean recyclable material. And the weight of a half-full bottle makes it more difficult for the recyclers' automated systems to recognise it as a particular recyclable item. It also makes them easier to crush, which saves space, so your recycler isn't transporting air. Recyclers can't accept any material that's stored in plastic bags. If that happens, it goes directly to landfill. The bags can get wrapped around the recycling machinery and cause thousands of dollars in damage. Make sure you transfer your bottles and containers directly into the bin. You can reuse or recycle your plastic bags by returning them to a collection box at most supermarkets, or avoid them altogether by taking your own reusable bags to the shops. Most plastics can be recycled, but not all councils recycle all plastics. Check to see which plastics your council accepts. Then you'll know if you can place them out for recycling or not. A triangle with a number, 1 to 7 inside, stamped on a plastic container or bottle is part of the Plastic Identification Code. This code identifies the type of plastic the product is, not if it can be recycled. People often confuse the Plastic Identification Code with the general recycling symbol, which involves 3 chasing arrows. And did you know that oven-proof glass and drinking glass, ceramics and Pyrex are not accepted for recycling because they're made of heat-strengthened material? Just 5 grams of this material can contaminate a whole tonne of recyclable glass, sending it to landfill. Food and garden waste makes up almost half of the waste from a typical Australian household. In landfill, where there's very little oxygen to help decomposition, this organic matter breaks down and releases methane, a greenhouse gas 20 times more potent than CO2. At home, in a well-aerated compost heap or in a worm farm, food scraps and garden waste can be recycled and turned into a nutrient-rich soil that's perfect for gardens and pot plants. Worm farms are a great way to reduce the amount of food you throw away. They're small and easily managed systems. Worms especially love fruit and veggie scraps, but also like paper, eggshells, tea bags and lots of other things. You can buy worm farms from hardware stores, garden centres and some green product suppliers. Lots of councils run worm farming workshops, and some councils even give away farms for free. Composts can handle leaves, grass clippings and small amounts of garden waste as well as food scraps and paper. But they need to be aerated and turned regularly. Avoid meat and dairy products and high levels of citrus in the compost. There are a number of items that are too toxic, hazardous or dangerous to go into your curbside recycling. Things like gas cylinders, batteries, tyres, motor oil, used chemicals and fertilisers. Some councils have hazardous waste collection schemes, while others have specific drop-off locations for these items. Ask your local council, call the National Recycling Hotline on 1300 733 712 or check out recyclingnearyou.com.au for more details. Recycling right is just as important as recycling at all. Thousands of tonnes of recyclable materials are rejected each year due to simple mistakes people make at home. When people put the wrong things in their recycling bins, they have to be removed by hand by workers. Things like dirty nappies and food waste are unpleasant, but car batteries, gas bottles and syringes are downright dangerous. Almost anything can be recycled in some form or another, however, not necessarily in your home recycling system. Some products need special machinery to process the materials, and other items can be potentially hazardous to human health and the environment, such as electronic waste. Computers, mobile phones and printer cartridges are good examples of this. To find out your closest location to recycle these items and many more, contact the National Recycling Hotline on 1300 733 712 or visit recyclingnearyou.com.au. Every year, around 3.5 million tonnes of paper and cardboard are used in Australia. This is enough to fill 160,000 large semi-trailers. With only 1 in 10 sheets of paper being recycled on average, there's a lot of room for improvement, especially in offices. Companies like Visy Recycling will collect paper as well as containers and packaging from your office. Visy sorts and processes the recycling and turns it into new packaging like cardboard boxes, plastic soft drink bottles and cans, thus reducing the environmental impact of your office. Printer cartridges can also be recycled at your office for free through Cartridges for Planet Ark. This service recycles the cartridges with zero waste to landfill guaranteed. Small businesses can also drop off cartridges at retail locations such as Australia Post, Officeworks, Harvey Norman and Dick Smith Electronics. To register or for more information, simply call the Cartridges for Planet Ark hotline on 1800 242473 or log on to planetark.com/cartridges. An important step in recycling is to also buy products made from recycled material so that you're closing the recycling loop. Recycled materials require fewer resources to manufacture. Recycled paper that's made from used office paper requires up to 90% less water and 50% less energy than paper made directly from trees. Recycling is a simple way we can all reduce our impact on the environment. It conserves natural resources and reduces greenhouse gas emissions. By recycling more and recycling better, we can all make a difference.